#idataengineer.
My name is Daniel. Some call me the Data Janitor, and I'm building Pipeline Data Engineering Academy, the world's first data engineering bootcamp. Not one of today's data engineers grew up as a kid imagining becoming one. I definitely didn't. That made me think about how others look at our line of work, and I feel the best way to explain it is through asking a handful of practitioners about their journey and how their work look like. Who are you and what do you do now?
First of all, thank you, Daniel, for speaking with me. This is Ayan. I work as a senior data engineer in an artificial intelligence company called noodle.ai. I'm currently based out of San Francisco, California. I'm in Bay Area since 5 years now. Though I'm originally from India, I spent a couple of years working in Buenos Aires, Argentina in past.
How did you end up as a data engineer?
Oh yeah, that's quite a journey. So my career pretty much started a decade ago. I worked in a consultant company as a production support analyst and nothing more than that. But I used to work for my client, but I was doing in my initial years nothing more than production support. And later on, I was exposed to the client database where most of the client requests had to go through some data change and whatnot. And after that, I slowly moved out to application support, where I had to do a lot of data development and data fix on the go. That actually is the time when I developed an immense interest in SQL and data in particular. Years rolled by and I went to places. I found myself in 2016 that everybody is talking about data. I used to go to meetups and I found that there was a hype in data science, machine learning, and whatnot. I just started thinking, hey, what is it actually? So when I started, I did Andrew Ng's machine learning course, and I thought, yeah, it can be something that I'm very interested in. So I started to do my formal education, which is graduation from University of Illinois. I actually graduated in 2019 in data science as a master's of computer science. After that, I was like, okay, so I know data, I know data science quite a bit, but I don't have any hands on experience. Then what do I do now? So I started, searching jobs. And I actually ended up having a data engineering job rather than a data science job because of one of my personal interest, and my career has been always in data engineering and more on the engineering side rather on the data science side. Though my formal education has been in data science, I'm happy to work as a data engineer for my company. It really intrigues me. So that's all how it started. It's going on, and it's been an exciting journey so far in data engineering.
Thank you so much for revealing your story. And what projects, tools, or trends do excite you these days?
We work in artificial intelligence projects in supply chain domain. One thing that actually excites me today is the distributing computing framework like Spark, and then you have EMR, which is like very much elastic cloud offering can gives you. I work a good lot of time in orchestration platforms like Airflow. SQL is
Hmm.
something that is my bread and butter. So I will not
Hmm.
say that it excites me. It is something that I have to be very fluent in. But definitely technologies such as Docker, Kubernetes, or container orchestrations, these are like fantastic technologies. And I think that these are something that I use day in, day out in order to do my job. Those are the things that I'm in right now.
How do you see the role of data engineering changing in the coming years? So, what's the outlook?
If you have asked this question to everybody might have a different answers,
I
but
hope.
here is what I think, and I want to divide the answer of that question into two parts. Let's talk
Hmm.
about data engineering as a role that is going to change, and let's talk about the
Hmm.
technology shift that we might expect in this domain. Well, with the role, I think that in coming years, data engineer will be playing an active role in ML engineering and not only in data engineering. So I see all the future companies, be it big, small, medium, will move into some sort of ML in their business lifecycle. People who understands data and people who can deliver clean data would be more valuable than ever. Maintaining models in production, deploying models, retraining, evaluation, validation. It's something is going to be more ML engineering focused. That's what is not that today every data engineer does. It'll be a hybrid job of data plus ML engineering. That's going to be the role in next at least I think in next 2 years, not even 5 years, I would say.
Okay.
So that's how it's going to be in the role shift. Now, talking about the technology, I think that whatever we are doing in data exchanges today, not that every data exchange is based out of API. And I think that APIs are going to be ruling more, and it is going to be more and more standard a way of exchanging data. API engineering, be it web, be it apps talking to each other and whatnot, is going to be critical. I do also think that cloud is already here. You're not going to do anything on prem in coming days. You need to shift your focus to cloud, and you need to utilize those cloud technologies and services that are actually available, be it any cloud, maybe AWS, maybe GCP, maybe Azure, but it's going to be cloud heavy and on-prem less. When you have the power to just switch on any infra that you like through your code as an infrastructure as a code, instead of maintaining like 5, 10 engineers working like 7, 8 days to bring up your infrastructure of a project, why not? I mean, you should be going to cloud rather than coming to on-prem. I also see that containerization, Dockers is going to be the standard, be it for all existing app or be it for the apps that are getting ready. So any data engineer, software engineer who are kind of working in this domain need to understand very clearly how Docker works and how existing apps can be changed or Dockerized. The challenges that we have today in data like MLOps, we will have more open source tools that can
Hmm.
actually definitely solve this problem. We can definitely take full advantage of it.
What piece of advice would you give to the ones who are just like starting out their career in data
Oh,
engineering?
I wanted to tell everybody that there might exist misnomer who is into data engineering. They might think that I need to be at least X number of years of experience, then come into data engineering, else not. And I just wanted to let everyone know that I come from a production support background with not formal data engineering, quote unquote
Hmm.
data engineering experience. So if I can do things, everybody can. It's on your how much interest you have on that particular job and how easily you can pick up technologies. Now, having been said that, there is a plethora of information that's available in internet which can overwhelm any beginner. While you have actually a lot to learn, a lot to actually know and put it to practice, you don't have to do it all at once. You need to really, really divide and maintain your learning journey over X number of days, years, or months to come. So you need to focus yourself as a problem solver rather than tied to a technology like might be, I don't know, Airflow or Docker or whatever. You need to actually solve the business problem rather than focusing on the technology. When talking about technology in a very generic manner, I think that data engineering stands in three foundational pillars, which I call as SPS, which means
Hmm.
that Shell, Python, and SQL. Hey,
Oh,
SQL
yes,
is
yes, I'm in love with that.
yeah, SQL is back. So you can't do anything. So if you know English, you should know SQL. That's the way that you talk to data and you talk to people in English. So that's going to be that. You need to pick up those three things, and they are very easy things to pick up. You need to pick up Shell, you need to pick up Python, and you need to pick up SQL. I do also think that a little bit of DevOps kind of
Hmm.
exposure is also necessary when you are working in a real life project, like concepts like CI/CD, Jenkins,
Hmm.
container
Hmm.
deployment, and these things.
Do you listen to music while you are in the flow and programming?
While I'm into work and programming, not very often that I listen to
Hmm.
music. My every morning starts with meditation, and I actually listen to Sanskrit mantra chants in every morning. So while I'm into working, if I'm deep into something, I very often go into only instrumentals and meditation music, nothing more than that.
Hmm. Did you have like a great meal just recently? Either you cook it by yourself or just like, grabbed at the cornerstone for takeaway. Like,
No, actually, I learned cooking salmon in a very classical way. I love salmon, and I started cooking at home, and that's been something that I have been doing since last 2 3 weeks. I just fry it in butter, and I just put some ginger, and you just
mhm.
have to sprinkle some garlic salt on top of it, and it actually is fabulous.
Thank you. If you are a data engineer and you feel like sharing your story, reach out. I'd be happy to chat with you.
#idataengineer